The way of Form 5, the way of the crit dragon, Shien Djem Su. Shien deals with the lightsaber aspect, whereas Djem Su deals with the uh, blastable aspect. The philosophy and tactics of Form 5 is to counterattack your opponent. Give them what they dish out to you. If they fire a blast bolt, you make sure that blast bolt goes back to the shooter or one of his friends. If he attempts to fight you in lightsaber combat, then meet his might with your own. It is the Form 5 aspect was created using the other four aspects, and uses the philosophy and tactics of the other ones, as well as the techniques. Like a Shicho, you have wide swings but not wild swings. Like a Makashi, you have precision strikes, but you're not just using thrust. Like a Taru, you're using martial arts because Shien practitioners love getting up close and personal and beating the crap out of you and beating you into submission. And it also uses dexterity, which is another trait of Ataru. And like Sarisu, it has a hard defense. The form requires a person to have a medium build, and it can be either medium weight to heavy set, and as well as tall. It is best used by practitioners with a lot of strength and dexterity. So this means frail humans who try to use it are not going to get much out of it, whereas a fan fiction Wookiee or a cyborg can get a lot out of it. It has very poor footwork because in order to use your strength, you have to keep your feet planted on the ground, but it also requires good posture and a good hip, because if you don't swing the right way, you won't get maximum impact. As I noted, it's like Makashi, in which it tries to it penetrates the guard, but it'll try to bash the guard too. Shien Form 5 is all about getting it around the guard while having your own. It's peace through superior firepower, and it's practiced more so in this style than any other style. This style can beat out other styles if used the right way. Despite the rumor saying that Ataru can beat Shien, Ataru can't, because, in my opinion, it can't, because Shien banks itself on precision, much like Makashi does. So an Ataru specialist would have a hard time dodging a Shien who has perfect precision and focus. It's not as slow as you think. It would only be slow again from practitioners who are frail and which means they would have a longer wind up than a already strength-based practitioner such as a Jedi Wookiee. It's versatile because it's not only used by both users of the light and dark, but it's also can be used by people who are not so who don't have a lot of upper body strength. As I noted, it can be used by medium built people to heavy set and tall people. It has it can be used to disarm an opponent, which it was originally created for, but it could also be used to maim and kill an opponent, which most Darksiders use. It's also the basis, as I noted in my Juya video, is also the basis for Juya, because many Juya users tend to be strength based. Out of all the martial arts aspects, Shien is the best one to use against the other lightsaber combat skills, due to the fact that it takes the other previous four skills and puts them to good use. Strengths and weaknesses. The strength is strength based and dexterity based, meaning you're fast with your hands and you hit very hard. And the second strength is the fact you can break guards and get around guards. The whole aspect is getting around the guard. The third strength is counterattacks. You're not only counterattacking lightsaber blows, but blast bolts too. So it has that thing going for it. And the fourth strength is the fact that it's focused. meaning you're going to hit with good precision and you're rarely if ever going to miss. Its weaknesses is it has poor footwork and almost no agility. So a Shien practitioner mostly puts up a guard until a counterattack opens up. The second thing is that it's like many practitioners, they tend not to focus on the force-based abilities because most of them are not NIMAT users. Oh, and another strength is, to a certain extent, Form 5 is good against NIMAT users who are not who have to concentrate in order to use their force-based abilities. Because as I noted, the Shien practitioner uses martial arts. They tend to punch, kick, and grapple their opponents, breaking their concentration, which also leads to more maiming and beating their opponent into submission. And another strength is the fact that it breaks guards, but it also knocks people on their butt, preventing them from mounting a defense of their own. But the other weakness to 4 and 5, other than speed and footwork, is its posture. As I noted earlier, if you're in tight space, it's hard to have your a complete posture if you can't swing your weapon at its full extent, making it very hard to hold use the full strength of your weapon. Also, reverse grips don't work very well with it two-handed, and you can leave you open. But finally, I guess the hallmark of this whole lightsaber dueling aspect is the fact that Shien practitioners tend to be hot-headed or have little patience, which leads to them falling for traps very easily, which is what happened to Anakin. If I had to use a media character that best represented this martial arts aspect, it would be Guts from Berserk, especially the PS2 version, but Guts overall uses strength-based attacks. He's not wild in his swings. He uses actual precision, but he often counterattacks his opponents after they mess up. And no more is this best shown in the PS2 version when he counterattacks Zod in his quick time events. If you get them correct, he will counter Zod with a nasty head swing. Form 5, if you use Guts as a example of Shien, that's what a Shien practitioner would look like if using the same way as he did. Block, then counterattack, and bash your enemies in submission. And Guts also uses martial arts, as he has a tendency to punch his opponents out. And I forgot one more thing to add. That Form 5 is loosely based on Japanese martial arts as well as European swordsmanship. There are several Kenjutsu martial arts styles that greatly influence the style, as well as longsword, bastard sword, and great sword styles of the European swordsmanship. But overall, they all are aspects that allow the practitioner to either break through one's guard, beat the person down, or disarm them. And that's all I have to say on that.